Heather, you are up. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into making cameras. We've discussed this at length on the podcast. And then please show me that dollhouse camera that you've been putting up on Instagram.
Okay. Well, thanks. This has been such a treat to connect with people. I've been like lockdown mode since March 12th. I'm diabetic, so I'm scared to go out of the house. And so I never really left the house anyway before that. So it's suiting me just fine. I've just expanded my studio space. Instead of just having it downstairs, I got like 1,200 feet downstairs. I've made the whole living room, and now my neighborhood is my studio. So I'm just going to expand wherever I need to expand. But let's see, I majored in sculpture at the Kansas City Art Institute back in 1991. And because I thought I knew everything about photography. So I just thought I'll do sculpture. My dad was a builder. He built our house. So I was, his helper for a long time when I was little. I work now in Colorado Springs as the print workshop supervisor, supervising the printmaking studio and the darkroom facilities for the art department, kind of like Chris, which we bought some of Chris's cameras for the students and stuff like that. So that's pretty fabulous. I've done that job for 11 years. I just went on voluntary furlough, so I don't have to go back till February 1st. So I'm on my own little retirement sabbatical, and I just eased right into that sucker. So
It's always good to practice retirement before you have to do it.
When I was 18, I always thought people should retire when they're 18 and then work when they're old, because they need the retirement when they're young so they can be young and enjoy it. Boy, was I wrong. I'm learning a lot the older I get. That money probably would have been gone definitely by now. But yeah, I have all my friends that are retiring now, and so I'm a little bit jealous. So I just thought, let's just do a dry run for retirement here. So with that, I've just have not been making too much pressure on myself to make anything. I've been painting, weaving, and really on this kick of making camera obscuras. And in the spirit of trying to make objects of contemplation, because I find myself just kind of staring out the window every day, just trying to come to grips with everything. And so when you can look through a camera obscura upside down, that's like my happy place. Like, behind the ground glass of an 8x10 camera, I could sit there for hours. So like, why not just make a big version of that, which I kind of did with my pinhole truck, Little Miss Sunshine, which we talked about on the podcast and stuff like that. So let me show you this. Is that enough, Ethan?
Yeah. Let's get into the cameras.
Okay.
For those of you who are really curious about who Heather is and want to know deep backstory, check out the podcast. But I am dying to see this thing.
Okay. Well, I want to see if I can mirror my iPhone, which I know on Zoom I can. Let me see if that's an option. Oh, I'm presenting my screen. Ugh. How do I get it to do? Let's see. I did a reflector app. I don't think it'll let me do a mirror.
You might be able to log in from your phone, because I think you can log in twice.
Yes, I will accept your login.
Hey.
Oh, fancy.
Is that it now? Bam. So y'all can see my screen?
Yep.
My ridiculous living room? Okay, so here she is. Let me see if I can turn. the light down a little. So this was a vintage or antique store find, and the little red wagon was also. I get up and move it around here. I ground my own glass. Oh, the car drove by. Did you see that? And then another room. And the attic. So right now it's just up on my dining room table, which I love just having it at my front window and just gazing upon it. Of course, I don't know if it's sharp as can be, but I don't know if you're able to see that with this connection. And so the biggest decision was which glass windows or which windows to open up and which ones not to. When I first made it, I made those all pinholes, and I made this camera back. It's like 38 by 36 for it, and I made it light tight with those things, the door, like door jams. You put them at the bottom of the door, and it shuts the door all nice. Let me see then. There. Where are we at on my computer? Can you still see me?
No, you gotta kill the screen share to see you. We can see ourselves.
Let's see. Now can you see my screen?
Yes.
This is a little video of my neighbor, bless her heart. I talked her into posing for me. But the thing I love about that is seeing the motion of that white picket fence go through. Let's see, I did some stills. Oh, no, not copy. Oh, God. Quick look. So there she is, tra-la-laing through the neighborhood. In the background is the U.S. Olympic Center that's just about a couple blocks away from my house. The light was beautiful. It was right after a storm, so the sky went really dark. I didn't paint the inside between the lens and the ground glass. I left the wallpaper and everything there, and so it does this beautiful reflected light within it.
What
I love that.
I might have missed it, but what are you using for the lenses?
Oh, let me show you here. Okay. That's a really good look of that. Close up. I brought it up here. Okay. I am using, let's see if y'all can see me. I got some lag going on here. Sorry. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, okay. I'm just like stuck frozen, so I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay. I'm using a reader, like those you know, the little things you
microscope or magnifying glass.
Yeah, those little magnifier, like little lenticular ones that you put in your little purse so you can read credit cards or menus or something like that. So there, I can see me now. So I'm using a bunch of those, and I'm not using an aperture. I'm just taping them to the window, the hole in the window there. And it's about a 6-inch focal length. And so whatever 6 inches, I just stick there. I put the glass in the room by using separators, these like transparent separators. When you are framing your artwork, you can float images with these just like 1/2-inch separators. They're sticky on one side, and I just glued them in because taking them down the road, that was part of it. I did this for Worldwide Pinhole Day. I made this one. And taking it down the road and hitting bumps, half the glass went plunk after about 2 minutes. So then I was like, okay, back to the drawing board. And so then I used some Loctite in there because I would have loved to be able to remove the ground glass to be able to, stick some 4x5 holders in there and shoot. But the decision was made, and I made the decision, and I'm standing by it. So that's the main thing.
Have you pulled it with Little Miss Sunshine yet?
Well, she sat inside Little Miss Sunshine once, so that was good. And she sits and looks out the window. That's what I should have showed you out the window, was she's sitting there looking at Little Miss Sunshine. So I have both my camera obscuras sitting there staring at each other.
Hey, for those viewers at home who might not be acquainted, Little Miss Sunshine is a giant box truck camera that Heather drives around. It's not just any camera.
That's true. I should show my little website here. Y'all see my screen?
Not yet.
Oh. Oh, allow. Sorry. I'm so used to Zoom. When we were doing teaching, I had to do Zoom all the time. So. Uh-oh. Am I out of it?
No, you're good. We can see your screen.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay. So let's see. Here's my website. It's camerakarma.com. Unconventional cameras. No internet connection, probably. Let's see. There's Little Miss Sunshine. There. So she looks like a big box of Kodak film. And so this shot right here is that shot right there. And the images are 8 foot by 10 foot.
And each one of the divisions, you see the lines going through there. Each one of those divisions is an 8x10 sheet of paper, correct?
Some of them, but like for this one, I decided to do like 16x20 and 8x10 and 11x14. And this is a 35-foot long pinhole where I moved the truck 3 times after each exposure and did all that. That was a pain.
Damn, that's awesome.
This was a one shot, so I had big mural paper. These two were big mural papers. Yeah, and so here's an example of all of them are 8x10s, and there's the little dots right there at the top. Those are the little magnets that are holding it in place. And so, let's see. I wish I had a picture of inside the camera. Here's a picture. So inside the camera, right here is a galvanized steel metal, and it's gridded out. And I have magnetic red lights, safe lights attached to it. And then at the top here, these dome lights, I switched those, put ruby lith over the top of those. And so if I ever like sneak out this little curtain out of the cab and the dome light turns on, it won't ruin, $100 worth of paper. And then I have like beanbag chairs to sit in and all that fun stuff. So my pinhole's over on this side and it just gets projected that way. Pretty easy little thing. This is I got invited to do a little workshop at Santa Fe in the square there, the historic square, and this is what it ended up looking like. That market. And so that, here's everybody in the workshop sitting there. This took 45 minutes to expose. It was nuts. But part of it, the fun is putting it all together like a big puzzle. Love doing that. Some of my other cameras, let's look at those.
So Heather, just before you joined, Peter was showing his 16 by 20 camera, and we made the joke that whoever has the biggest camera wins. I think you just dropped the mic and walked off.
Yeah. Well, you know,
let's not have that competition. I don't want to buy an airplane.
Yeah, don't go down that road. Trust me. What is it? There's always that one place in Colorado here, those mountains. It's the most photographed mountain ever. But you go there and there's just like 20 people lined up with their big lenses. I've always wanted to pull up Little Miss Sunshine there and just outgun them. But I hold myself back. Here, Chris, I love your pinhole blenders. That's one of my favorites, 4x5 color film. I had a show about my unconventional camera collection and the photos that they took. That's a Voltron, but this is a piece I made. I usually do pinhole. There's my iPhone, and I did a selfie with that.
It's always nice when the cameras themselves are beautiful to look at.
Yeah, I love that too. And, you know, I like to think like this was a Kodak film like holder for movie film. And so I was thinking about, well, what would it actually shoot? And so I was in Port Aransas, and they have those big cement sharks that you can walk into to get inside a building. I'm like, well, that, yeah, reminds me of Jaws or something. And then a bellhop cart camera that I made with a 3 pinhole. That was a fun shrouded type of thing, but yeah, into all that kind of fun stuff. So let's see here. How do I get out of this bad boy? See, I don't see it. Oh, it must be down here. Where are you? Google Meet. There we go. Sorry. There. So, where did it go? Just left again. I'm sorry. It's having a hard time. There we go.
We're seeing you now.
Okay, you seeing me?
Yep.
So, the one thing that's happening, since I'm not pressuring myself to be a photographer or a painter or a sculptor or anything like that, I'm just doing what I want to do, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're retired, right?
Yeah.
Denny knows. So now I'm down this rabbit hole of Victorian sand toys. And I just bought one off of eBay because it didn't work. So I fixed it and now it works. And I'm just so intrigued. Okay, so I'm going to show.
Heather, I did not know that these existed until I saw your Instagram post. And immediately I was like, oh, this needs to be laser cut out of some cardboard. What could we make?
Oh, you're going to help me make something pretty amazing, Ethan,
Okay.
and you don't realize it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm into making some of these. I was going to make like dirty political ones, but yeah.
They have those out there too. So this is just a little paper articulated like puppet, and with the sand toys, you turn it like 3 times. You see it moving?
Yeah.
So it does all these fun things, right? It dances, it moves, magical. And so on the back, I made it so you can see what's happening on the back. Ugh, maybe I got reflections happening. Sorry. You see the sand wheel?
See the wheel?
You see the wheel. So the sand, when you go in, goes down into this hopper. Oh. And then goes down into the water wheel type thing, this paddle wheel, spins it. This little guy is on that and spins with it. I think there's some, yeah, there's some debris. There we go. It's catching it now. Okay, so this is what happens. I got a new dollhouse that has like 4 or 5 rooms. And my lady that I took, my next door neighbor, I want to take little puppets of her and articulate her in that negligee and put her in each room doing something in this new dollhouse. But I want to spin the whole dollhouse at once and then watch them all dance. So this little wheel, Ethan, will you make me some 3D printed wheels? I already found the instructions on how to do it and everything.
Okay. Maybe even laser cut. I was thinking about like other things to power. So I have a ventilator over here. Now we're going far afield of cameras, but the ventilator we built with the idea that, you know, we did not want to use a lot of the digital electronic components that you might build a ventilator out of, so that it could be built in Mumbai out of nothing. And one of the ideas for powering the thing, rather than using, you know, a computer power supply, was actually using a water wheel or some other like sand power, so that, you know, somebody could pick up a bucket of water or sand for a while every hour, and it would turn a wheel like that. But okay, now we're back to cameras and things. Yes, I will make you any size and dimension sand wheel. But also, I was thinking how wacky it might be if one of the things that sand wheel controlled was a shutter, right? Because, you know, this reminds me of your typical like hourglass, you know, sand. I guess it's called an hourglass. It's, you know, it's hourglass shaped and it has sand.
Yeah, thing. Yeah, that.
But maybe that would be like a really wacky slow speed shutter timer. If you rotated it like that, maybe I will try and talk you into something like that before.
Okay, I'll make one of those for you if you help me out with those
cool.
water wheels.
Yes. After the convention, let's talk for a few minutes and make some sketches.
Cool. Cool.
Does anybody have any questions for Heather about her dollhouse, or what do you have, like 600 cameras now?
Well, actually, underneath my table, I have 2 big Tupperware things filled with cameras ready to like go out the door. So I'm purging a little bit, and I'm just saving the best of the best, the cream of the crop, are cameras that do unique things. So I don't need 3 of the same cameras and stuff like that. And since I'm camera karma, well, I'm getting this stuff out of my life and into someone else's life. So
maybe you should talk to Joe a little bit about this. I don't know if you know Joe Van Cleve, but I know him through Becky. Joe was getting rid of a bunch of his cameras, and I've been pushing him to make like a coffee table book of 30. You know, he's been building cameras since I was a baby. And I think like some of what's cool about them is not even the cameras themselves, but like the pictures or even the notebook sketches. For pre-quarantine, he was over here every Tuesday using my scanner, but he had like, I don't know, 25 filled notebooks from 30 years of that sort of thing. I wonder if it would be worth your time before you get rid of some of them to just like go through, set up a little tabletop, and shoot them all for like a little book. I would be a book customer for sure.
Well, I've been watching those videos with Joe and you, and his pinhole cameras are stellar. I mean, he thinks of it all. You know, I'm all about cram a hole in there, stick a piece of paper, let's go outside and see what happens. You know, and I have to slow myself down. I just got to make sure, you know. So
to be honest, just a thought about Joe. It was about 15 years ago on PhotoNet that I was talking with some people about pinholes, and he popped up with a perfect set of instructions for making your own pinhole. And that's the technique I used ever since.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, I look forward to all those videos that he does too. But yeah, his pinholes are. I definitely want one for my collection for sure.
I just sent him a third text. Maybe he will show up.
He's busy.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk sand wheels after the convention, or if we go long in the morning. It sounds like you're not going too far.
I'm not going too far.
Practice for time.
I like the idea though of a shutter being controlled by a different force of nature. That's beautiful. I like that. I mean, well, that's what we're dealing with here is time and light.
It would be possible, perfectly reasonable, to include among the elements wind, that you have a windmill so that your shutter only fires when the wind speed picks up sufficiently.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, possible, Sandhya, but wind is not necessarily related to light. Maybe you could have the start trigger be wind, and then have that windmill run sort of generator through a RC circuit that has a light meter on it. That it
could do a time lapse.
We could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. You stick some cams and gears on there. It can do a time lapse.
I could think of like a parabolic dish that heats water from the sun that spins a turbine, where the water heated is proportional to the amount of light.
Or you could find one of those places in the mountains where natural methane rises up through a crack in the rocks and has been alight for the last 2,000 years, and use the heat from that gas flame to power the other motions.
I mean, to be fair, the only thing rising out of the mountains where Heather lives are the ICBMs.
Of course, yeah.
What about train tunnel? You know, I've hopped a couple trains back in my younger years when I was young and retired. And the cool things about those train tunnels, if you go in about the equivalent of like a block, and then go on the side, and the train goes through. If you go and stand in the middle of those tracks, in about 30 seconds after a train goes through, the biggest gust of wind following it goes through, and it's pretty magical type of thing. And so I can see like hooking a wind turbine inside there, doing some action shots of that train. Some night vision needs to probably happen also.
The difference is what the desire to miniaturize or the desire to expand and create the largest possible sheet you can imagine.
We have some pretty good volcanic vents around here.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
Ooh, nice.
Over here, you'd be welcome to stay with us.
If this conversation continues, I'm never going to put out a reasonable product. Rube Goldberg machines.
Yeah, love it. Well, thanks for letting me yak about my crazy ideas, because I've just I'm my only audience, and I agree with myself quite a bit. So
yeah,
we love it. Thank you, Heather. Does anybody else have any other questions for Heather?
No, but I'm going to take a look at the work on online.
So Heather, real quick, one more time, where are all the places people can find you?
Just if you misspell my last name, you'll get it. It's Oelklaus, but it's camerakarma.com. And I think on Instagram, let me see, what am I listed? Yeah, it's just my name, Heather Oelklaus. And on Facebook. So, but I like doing Instagram more.
And again, the link will be in the description below the video.